Hello and welcome to Maverrik Live. I am your host. It is Friday and I'm with Dave Faulkner.
Hi.
How you going? I am your host Friday then.
Yeah, right.
I'm not Tony Stark's computer.
Jarvis. Nah, it's good to be here. Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's nice to have you in. I brought you in especially because we're talking about sales brochures, mainly because whenever it comes to a lot of our in-house marketing work, you are kind of a go-to for our sales brochures, have a design, a lot of how they look. And you're stepping into the actual sales copy side of things as well, aren't you? You've looked more into expanding that knowledge.
Yeah, so I started off in the print, so I would have been printing the brochures. So I know all about how they should be done for print, the finishing for them. And then I've done a lot of design, so do graphic design, so I can design them now. So design them, make them, write them, sing them.
Yeah, everything as well.
And
you're talking to clients now as well, so you're getting into the strategy of them as well.
Yeah, dealing with the strategy behind it, why we do them, and what their purpose is. And
you think it's more useful knowing, obviously, you know the background of a design before you go into it, so you know what the client's looking for at the end goal.
Yeah, I think it's about the message. So especially, it depends on the brochure you're doing. So you can have like a company overview brochure, which obviously you're trying to talk a bit about the company. But in terms of an actual sales brochure, you're looking at you're looking at a message that sort of appeals specifically to their target audience.
A lot more goes into it because you have to. It's a convincing piece of literature, isn't it? So we've got a couple points here of how you can create a sales brochure that actually works. So when we say actually works, it means people will actually read all the way through it and actually get your message and maybe even convert and lead to a conversation and sale later on down the line. So we've got branding first of all, which is pretty much, this is kind of like, I want to do the suck eggs version of, make sure that you've got your company logo on it. But the branding is also a form of sort of a design of it. You want to make sure it feels and breathes you.
Yeah, well, you want people to pick it up and know who's done it. At the end of the day, brand awareness is so important, people don't realise, but if you pick a piece of work up from Coca-Cola, if it's red and it's got, so like the Christmas truck, people see it and it goes by and they know it's Coca-Cola. That's what you want people to do with your company, no matter what size you are, and that's your end goal. And you want people to notice you before they even have to read it.
Yeah, marketing of it. Do you think branding isn't just colours? It's sometimes be logos, it can be a certain way of style of doing things. Yeah. It goes with type fonts are a big one as well. You can say, oh, this company always uses, say, Open Sans or Roboto, whatever you want to call it.
Even some will they'll italicize everything, and that will be their brand statement, or it'll be a color, or it'll be a shape in the background, and you can see that shape, and you know it's them. Like Pepsi moved to a shape, you know if that you see that sort of half circle, you know. You can kind of associate that shape to one brand. So
yeah, if they saw on a stack of different brochures in front of them, of maybe they're doing a competitor overview of, okay, we've got all our brochures in a line, let's see who we want to go with.
Yeah.
If yours is the first thing that stands out and looks like you and says everything about you, people are going to pick it up.
So if people recognize your brand via just by looking at it, it's almost like an instant trust thing. They trust it because they recognize it.
Yeah.
Simple as, like, you automatically trust people when you recognize them or you see something in something that you've seen before. It's an immediate trust thing.
Yeah, as soon as you see, that's the company, that's the logo, you'll be like, oh, well, they're talking to me and they understand me. But we want to go into pain points right now because this is more of inside the sales brochure in a sense. This is the copy that goes inside of it. Yeah. Because if you just have, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, you're not going to really convince anyone during the sales brochure to go with you. Yeah. So you want to use the pain point method of it. We use it for content creation as well. It's kind of an underlying theme in a lot of our content workshops where we try and teach pain points because it's such a good thing to understand and learn because it's more of a mindset in a sense.
Yeah, the pain points are the most important. I think with the message of the brochure itself, what you're doing is you're targeting a problem or a pain point within that industry straight away. That's how you get their attention. That's the whole point of it. Yeah. Then you talk and open more about, you kind of open that problem up and keep opening it up. So they're going, yep, that resonates with me, that resonates with me, it's so important. And then they're hooked, so they'll keep reading then. But you have to do that so quickly.
So yeah, it could even be like the first thing on the brochure could just be solving a problem or talking about a problem.
Literally.
And like, you've got no time to do this. So like, yeah, I do not have no time to do this. I wonder how this brochure is going to help me with that, or is it going to show me?
So the brochure will then go, so we'll talk about, you have no time to do this. Here's why you have no time to do this. Here's the problems that come from having no time to do this.
Yeah.
And then right at the end, so you're not singing about your company, but right at the end you say to them, look, but just to let you know, this is something we specialize in. So if it's something you need help with, just give us a call.
Yeah, and going through that whole list, it's quite a big process. So we're not going to go into it all throughout this because this is more just about the brochure itself. But with the pain points, yes, understand the content inside of it needs to speak to your audience, you to understand them. Understand what they're going through, understand what problem you're trying to solve with them, and that's how you can unpack the content within the sales brochure.
Absolutely.
We're moving on to now to testimonials, and this is the credibility section. Because without credibility, you could literally just be anyone handing a flyer out and they'll go, oh, I don't want to do this, throw it away.
So this comes in part and parcel with what I said about brand awareness. So if you have no brand awareness and you've just started up, you're relying on credibility sort of testimonials because people do look at them. You think they're there just to show off the company, but people will read them and they will see, because a lot of the time a testimonial will be talking about a problem that they fixed and people will be looking to see if they've got that same problem, and if it's fixed for someone else, it'll fix it for them. Yeah,
this is why we use accredited like review sites like Trustpilot. And we put that on our own. Like we are 5 stars on Trustpilot. It's not our own system. It's not our own people talking. They're not fake testimonials either. You can go out and you can find anything we put out there. You can look on yourself and be like, oh, okay, this was a real person saying it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a scary game if you start to just put things down with no, if you try to just put a statement down that no one said or that you haven't got some evidence to back that up.
Yeah, I've seen a few, when I was writing my sales veils videos, it was like the magnificent Chris.
Yeah.
I saw his website and he had a few testimonials on, and you can tell they were fake just about how they grandized him, but also for how quick they used to scroll past, so you couldn't read them, so you couldn't make it out.
So sometimes we've always said, actually, a really funny thing here is, this might be a topic for another day, but is that having 5 stars, like no one has 5 star. There's going to be some issue somewhere along the line. So you want to, sometimes looking at the 3-4 star reviews tells you a little bit more about, okay, they may not be so good at this, but they are great at this.
I do that on Amazon all the time. I'll look at the first 5-star one, I'll look at the first 1-star one, because I want to see if that star is actually worth merit. Because you can tell when someone's put a 1-star in just to be a exclusive. They do it on purpose just because they think, oh, we've got this product is a great, standing. I'm going to be the one person who brings it down.
Yeah, some people get a kick out of it.
Yeah, I think it's fun. Like, oh, first they're 5-star, but I put a 1-star in and now they're 4.5.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no. And to a business, it's so annoying.
I know.
But at the same time, you realize that you're always going to get that person.
And you have to keep them, and we respond to them. Some people might try and delete them, but you've got to just respond to them, try and solve the issue, don't you?
My favorite was like, Dylan came to the survey late.
Yeah.
Like, no one at the office is called Dylan at all.
Yeah.
And you get those ones you can tell they're just fake, and it's just
and
so
the people didn't
weird.
really take notice of what was going on. They're already going in with a negative mindset, and they're going to leave with one, and it's not changing it.
So adding testimonials to your brochure, in a sense, you can add like
put them everywhere. Website, brochure, you should have them.
And we use the accredited sites to show that we're not just putting them in ourselves.
100%.
Even if we did sometimes. No, we get genuine feedback. We love getting genuine feedback. So if there's anything wrong with anything that we do or put out there, let us know, because then we will never get better.
Exactly.
So at the end of it, it's triple checking. We've all made a mistake of putting something out there. There's 1 or 2 spelling mistakes. There may be a grammatical error. That happens, but it shouldn't happen that often.
Things you see it on social media a lot. I know this is a sales brochure and it goes for a few more checks, but when BBC, I've seen recently, BBC Sport posted on Twitter, and the spelling mistakes and the grammatical errors, I thought, someone's being paid probably quite a bit of money to do this job, and it should be going for a few stages of checking. And I think you need to do the same with your brochure. If you're the designer, you need to talk to your copywriting team or get someone to triple check it, because at the end of the day, especially if you're sending them out online or offline, a lot of people might see it, and people will judge you for it. Every time our local newspaper actually puts something out as an article on Facebook, there's a slew of comments going, oh, we got this article right this time, or like, oh, where's the spelling mistakes? It could be written by this person. Yeah, like they are well known now for having like really poor grammar and spelling, which is something you don't want to attach to anything you do. Because it feels like a fundamental thing. Like if you get a fundamental thing wrong, how can you convince someone that you can do the important things? Yeah. Yeah, if they're, especially if you're a business that operates with clients and your own work has mistakes, that just shows you the client work's going to get mistakes as well. But mistakes will happen. You will get those moments where you have 1 or 2 errors. It's about, if it gets to the publishing stage though, where you're able to publish it and it's gone through 3 checks, that's when you say triple check. If you can check it once, you can still find 2 people can make the same mistake, but if the 3rd person doesn't spot it, then you're in trouble. The problem is our brains itself can overlook a mistake, because when we read something back to us, it fills in the gaps itself. Even if it's wrong, our own heads will like fill in the gaps. So you need to be really analytical and look through each little point and read it out to yourself as you're seeing it. Because if you're just doing it by your mind, you will just skip over it. And that happens to everyone. I mean, there's plenty of ways you can check this. So you've got a lot of the spell checking softwares nowadays, and then you've got if the designer is going to be using like design tools, they're going to have like margins and things like that to check for those sort of things. There's going to be plenty of places you can check it. Maybe that's something we can talk about another day.
Do your design tools come with spell checking as well? Or do you add plugins for them?
No, you can use spell checking within the design tools. And if it goes past that, I mean, I think even Adobe, if you're sort of using a PDF, I think you can get spell checking tools for that.
Down the line, we're just getting AI going like, this is wrong, right? A little text box that come up and go.
We all need a spelling bot.
Well, yeah, and I mean, that's kind of it. That's what you've got. Just for general, you make your branding right, make sure the content's right, and make sure you triple check everything over. At the end of the day, your sales brochure, if they get to that point, you've already made a way of who you are, what you're all about, and the sales brochure is an extra piece you can talk about when you're doing a sales meeting. So I feel like a brochure is a good element for it, but they're an asset to a meeting, really.
Yeah, I think the most important thing that we kind of left out there, but is probably most vital, is just to know your audience. That's the biggest thing you should be doing before all of this, is researching that, making sure you've got your audience down to a T, and then the rest will follow because you'll know what you're doing after that. Yeah,
I posted on LinkedIn talking about whenever I was writing, and if you're reading something and you're getting bored yourself, your audience is going to get bored. So understanding how something's written, and then you're looking through it yourself. If you're enticed by the imagery, if you like what you've written, and actually it probably inspires action in yourself, you're going to inspire action in other people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, don't feel like if anything's too boring, give it a little jazz up, even if it's the most like mundane of industries.
Yeah, you need to keep people's attention, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, even if you're talking like very specific like engineering parts, you can still like add a little bit more into it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you add a bit of yourself into it a little bit more.
Personal experience is crucial nowadays, I think.
Yeah.
So adding that personal touch, so talking like you're not a robot, so like it's coming from a human being, it will make a big difference to people.
Awesome. Cheers, Dad. Thanks for coming down, Dave.
Appreciate it.
And thank you all for watching Maverrik Live on this Friday afternoon. I'm going to go home and take a nap. It's been a long week. But yeah, if you enjoyed Maverrik Live, we'll be back on Monday for another show. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube so you'll be notified when we are going live, and then follow us on Facebook, and most importantly, LinkedIn. We've got a lot of great stuff on there as well. Thanks again for coming down, Dave.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for watching. This has been Maverrik Live. We'll see you on Monday.